All right, so let's take a look at your activities, things to do for this week. All right, so this video, obviously, chapter two activities. So what you're checking out right now, you can see kind of a layout of what to expect for this week, and you'll see a lot of videos. So I'm trying to make a lot of video content so that you're not missing out on the classroom experience type thing, and you'll see a lot of the different things. If you follow on the PowerPoint, you'll see the links and different things you have there and the additional videos and all that kind of stuff, right? But let me step back up to the top of the page, and I posted these. I'm not sure if you've seen these yet or not, but I added in the Python Tutor link, which is an online coding site, does a step-by-step visualizer, amazing tool from Philip Guo. So anyway, we have that in there, and then this is a video that I made just kind of walking you through it. So definitely check this out. It is literally the best program tool ever created. So check that out for sure. Uh, REPL.it or repel.it, however you want to say it. There's the link to that. I think most of you created an account by now. I also posted a video in here, and you see I put in all caps, make sure to fork, and watching the video, you'll understand exactly what that means. So you definitely want to do that too. So check that out. Gives you a quick overview of the site itself. Okay, so those two videos, make sure you watch them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go down here. A couple of these other things we'll get to another time, but another week I didn't want to overwhelm you with too many things to start out. All right, so as we're going through here with the chapter two activities, I want to talk about kind of the sections here and the way that I have it split up. You'll see we're going down through, and if you see this last section 2.9, so we're splitting this chapter up, so that's why it says part one of two. There'll be a few of the chapters that we'll do as, we'll do the whole chapter in a week. But for the most part, we'll take 2 weeks. Sometimes we'll share, so maybe we'll finish a chapter, start a new chapter. But our book is relatively lengthy, but you'll notice the book itself, if you look at it, it's set up so that it's actually designed to be two semester uh, to take 2 semester classes with this and use the same book. So there's a lot to it. So we'll get through roughly half of the book. There's a lot of online additions that it has to it and everything too. But anyway, so that's kind of so for our pace, especially at the beginning. I don't want to completely overwhelm you with this stuff. There's a lot to cover, even in the first half of chapter two. There's a ton. So if you have not done coding before, this is kind of your first step into this, and so we're sort of baby stepping it. There's still a lot that you have to do this week, but if we did the whole, all of chapter two in this week, I think you'd feel overwhelmed. All right, so I'm trying to keep the same pace that I do when I teach this particular course in the classroom. So and staying with the same pace. So anyway, so chapter two we typically take a week and a half to 2 weeks on it. All right, so especially just starting out. All right, so anyway, so here we go. So we've got as you go along here, here's the PowerPoint. Again, the active links are in there, so you can check those out. When you're stepping through each one of these, videos as you're checking out. Some of them are shorter, some of them are a little longer. But you see in there, I try and keep them short, but some of them just have so much to cover in there. I actually split this one up into two sections. And then you'll notice also these little indented videos. So using see out here, variable definitions down here, the solving the restaurant bill problem, assignment statements, and simple math expressions. We'll actually deal with this one a little bit in the next section for next week, but I thought you may want to see that. Those are the 4 videos from the author, so Tony Gaddis put those in there, and so those links are kind of in there. And then if you're going through the PowerPoint, you'll see I put the link logos in there to click on and open those videos and watch. Please don't skip those, all right? Don't skip any of the videos in here, all right? So I address a lot of different things and try and help you out and let you know kind of what we're doing along the way. All right, so you'll see all these pieces in here. Okay, so once you've watched the video, you'll see that you've got these assignments down here. Okay, so these are from the PowerPoint. At the end of the PowerPoint, I just really quickly just threw those in there so you could see it. This one is kind of, just to kind of expand along some of the different ideas, and then these two as well. So, these two, both of these will do the same thing. So just give you a little bit more as to, to try. So you really have 4 coding assignments this week that will be turned in. When you watch the videos on my Python tutor and repel.it, you'll see I show you how to do the share links in there. I will say for the two sides, Python tutor is great because it lets you walk through and step by step the code. And what students have done in the past is use that to see how the code works. then they like going into Repel, and you can copy and paste the code directly from Python Tutor, throw it into Repel, give it a name to save it as, and then share the link from Repel. So that's, it's up to you. You can also share a link when you watch the Python Tutor video at the end, the very end, I think. It should, the last couple, I don't know, 30 seconds. I show you how to do the share link from there. Scroll down just a little bit, click the Google Short Link button. I think it says create short link, but anyways, Google short link button in and creates it in there, and you can share that link too. So if you don't want to use the REPL, the beauty of the REPL piece is that it cloud saves it for you. So that's pretty nice. So anyway, so what I've found in the past is students like to use both sites. Sometimes they'll share code back and forth just to check it out, right? So last thing I want to mention is the My Programming Lab part, and you can see sections 2.1 and 2.9. Now here's the way that I suggest that you do that so that it's not too overwhelming. I want you to break it up. The whole idea of My Programming Lab, and I'm going to skip over here real quick, is that you're doing it by sections. So for example, parts of a C++ program, you have these in here, okay? And then we're going to step down and, okay, let's, see out objects to see section 2.2. These follow along right with the book, okay? So when you go through the section, go back through here, and let's say you've done the parts of a C++ program, okay? So you've done the stuff from there. Go ahead and have My Program Lab logged in, complete this little section in here. Okay, so try and do it section by section so it's fresh in your mind, when you step down to, see out object. Okay, good. The My Programming Lab part gives you a chance to practice what we will be discussing in those videos and in the PowerPoint. So this is a little practice section. It'll say, hey, go ahead and write out this, line of code that does this. So definitely check those out. And the same thing with each one of these. So try and do them in the order so you stay. Otherwise, you go through all this stuff, you get to the very end, and you're like, oh man, now I have to go back through and do all of the My Programming Lab things all at once. Again, it's a good review, I guess, if you do it that way, but I would highly suggest the whole intent of this is to get you to practice with it as you're learning. So that you're doing just a single line of code at a time or a couple lines of code at a time, so you're not having to write a whole program. Okay, so this gives you a little bit of practice. Remember, you can click on the solutions, and the solutions will show you, kind of what they're doing. So if you get lost, click on the solutions tab. Don't spend hours sitting here trying to, figure out what they're talking about with one particular problem. Sometimes it's just a wording issue. It's confusing the way that that it's written in there or whatever. But definitely do these section by section as you're doing them with the videos in here. Okay, so then that's the last component. There's nothing to turn in from My Programming Lab. When you do it in here, you do the problems, you hit submit, checks it off for you, puts a green check over here once it's been completed correctly. Once those are all checked off for that particular chapter or that particular section that you're doing, you'll see all the green arrows will show up. Then you're done with that. You don't actually turn anything into Canvas for My Programming Lab. I go back into My Programming Lab and make sure that that it's done and all that kind of stuff. Then I come in here and I manually put the grading in for here. So different than the assignments here where you're submitting an active link from either Python Tutor or REPL to get the link for me to view. All right, so that's it. Welcome to your first week of actually, banging out some code. So pretty exciting, I think. And hopefully you'll enjoy it messing around with this. I try to be really basic with the videos. Don't forget the videos; they're nice because you can pause it, drop it back and watch a section again or whatever, and follow along with the PowerPoint. That way you can, click on the active links and check stuff out in there. So anyway, that's it. So have fun.